Welcome to a journey through time, where a small coin carries a powerful story. Today we explore the fascinating history of the 1953 Canadian 1 cent, a coin that is far more than just currency. It is a symbol of change, legacy, and national identity. This coin marks an important transition in Canada's history, as it was one of the first to feature the young and newly crowned Queen Elizabeth II after she ascended the throne in 1952. For collectors and history lovers, the 1953 penny is not just copper, it is a piece of royal history captured in metal. The year 1953 was a turning point for Canada and the entire Commonwealth. After the passing of King George VI, the throne passed to his daughter, Queen Elizabeth II, and countries like Canada began updating their coinage to reflect the new monarch. The Royal Canadian Mint worked carefully to design a coin that would honor the Queen's youth and the new era she represented. The portrait used on the 1953 penny was created by Mary Gillick, showing a youthful and uncrowned queen, symbolizing simplicity and a fresh beginning. Interestingly, the 1953 Canadian penny comes in two famous varieties known as no shoulder fold (NSF) and shoulder fold (SF). This difference may sound small, but it has created a huge buzz among coin collectors. The NSF version was the first design, but due to striking issues and clarity problems, it was later modified into the SF version. Today, collectors carefully examine these details as the NSF variety is rarer and often more valuable. The reverse side of the coin features two maple leaves, a powerful national symbol of Canada. These leaves are not just decoration, they represent unity, pride, and the natural beauty of the country. The inscription 1 cent sits proudly between the leaves, reminding us of the coin's humble value, even though its historical significance is priceless. For many Canadians growing up in the 1950s, this penny was part of daily life. It passed through hands in markets, shops, and homes, becoming a silent witness to countless stories: children buying candy, families saving coins in jars, and workers earning their wages. Over time, these coins became more than money, they became memories. Today, the 1953 Canadian penny holds a special place in the world of numismatics. Collectors from around the world seek it out, not only for its value but for the story it tells. Depending on its condition and variety, this coin can be worth far more than 1 cent, especially if it is well preserved or part of a rare batch. The beauty of this coin lies in its simplicity. Made primarily of bronze, it carries a warm, earthy tone that reflects its age and authenticity. When you hold it, you are not just holding metal, you are holding a moment from 1953, a year filled with hope, change, and a new royal chapter. Many believe that coins like the 1953 penny are hidden treasures waiting to be discovered. Some may still be lying unnoticed in old collections, drawers, or inherited boxes. If you ever come across one, take a closer look. You might be holding a rare piece of history. In the world of YouTube and storytelling, coins like this become legends. People love hearing about rare finds, hidden values, and historical secrets. The 1953 Canadian penny fits perfectly into this narrative, as it combines royal history, design changes, and collector excitement into one small object. So if you have a 1953 Canadian 1 cent coin, don't ignore it. Examine it, research it, and most importantly, appreciate it. Because sometimes the smallest things carry the biggest stories, and who knows, your simple penny might just be worth far more than you ever imagined. Where metal speaks of royalty, change, and time itself, today we dive deep into the legendary 1953 Canadian 1 cent, a coin that may look small but carries a story that echoes across decades. This is not just a penny. This is a moment frozen in history, a symbol of a nation stepping into a new era under the reign of Queen Elizabeth II. The world in 1953 was changing fast. Nations were rebuilding, societies were evolving, and in Canada a new chapter quietly began with the introduction of a coin bearing the image of a young queen. When Queen Elizabeth II took the throne in 1952, after the death of her father, King George VI, the entire Commonwealth felt the shift. Canada, being part of this global family, honored the new monarch by placing her portrait on its coins for the very first time. But this was no ordinary portrait. Unlike the crowned images of monarchs before her, this depiction showed a youthful, uncrowned queen. It symbolized freshness, humility, and a new beginning. Designed by artist Mary Gillick, the portrait captured the grace and quiet strength of a young ruler stepping into a massive responsibility. Every detail, from the curve of her profile to the simplicity of her appearance, was carefully crafted to represent a new era. Yet behind this beautiful design lies one of the most fascinating stories in coin history. The 1953 Canadian penny exists in two famous varieties, the no-shoulder fold and the shoulder fold. At first glance, the difference is subtle, almost invisible to an untrained eye. But to collectors, it is everything. The original design, known as the no-shoulder fold (NSF), lacked a clear fold in the queen's gown near her shoulder. This caused technical issues during minting. The details were not striking properly, and the design appeared weak on many coins. As a result, the Royal Canadian Mint quickly revised the design, adding a more defined shoulder fold. creating what is now known as the shoulder fold SF version. This small change created a massive impact. The NSF coins became rare almost instantly, turning them into highly desirable collector's items. Today, finding a well-preserved NSF penny is like discovering hidden treasure. It's not just about money, it's about owning a piece of a design that existed only briefly before being replaced. On the reverse side of the coin, two maple leaves rest delicately beside the words 1 cent. These leaves are more than decoration, they are the heart of Canada itself. The maple leaf has long been a symbol of unity, pride, and identity. On this coin, it reminds us that even as leadership changes, the spirit of the nation remains rooted in its natural beauty and shared values. Imagine the journey of this coin. It may have started its life in 1953, freshly minted and shining, entering circulation among millions of others. Perhaps it passed through the hands of a shopkeeper, a child buying sweets, or a worker earning his daily wage. It might have been dropped, lost, found again, saved in a jar, or forgotten in a drawer for decades. Each scratch on its surface tells a story. Each mark is a memory of where it has been. Coins like this are silent witnesses to everyday life. They don't speak, but they remember. As time moved forward, the world began to change. Inflation reduced the value of small coins like the penny. Eventually, Canada stopped producing 1 cent coins altogether in 2012. This made older pennies, especially historic ones like the 1953 issue, even more meaningful. They became relics of a time when even the smallest denomination had a role in daily life. Collectors today search tirelessly for these coins. They examine them under magnification, studying every detail: the Queen's portrait, the lettering, the maple leaves, and most importantly, the presence or absence of that tiny shoulder fold. Because in that small detail lies the difference between common and rare, between ordinary and extraordinary. Some collectors have paid significant amounts for high-grade examples of the no-shoulder fold variety. The excitement of finding one in an old collection or inherited box is unmatched. It's like uncovering a secret that has been hiding in plain sight for decades. But beyond value, beyond rarity, what truly makes the 1953 Canadian penny special is its story. It represents a young queen stepping into history. It represents a country embracing change while holding on to its identity. It represents the everyday lives of people who used it without ever knowing how important it would become. In today's digital world, where money is often invisible, coins like this remind us of a time when currency had weight, texture, and presence. You could hold history in your hand, you could feel it. And maybe, just maybe, somewhere in your home, hidden in an old drawer or a forgotten box, lies a 1953 Canadian penny waiting to be rediscovered, waiting to tell its story once again. So next time you come across an old coin, don't ignore it. Look closer. Because sometimes the smallest objects carry the greatest stories. And in the case of the 1953 Canadian 1 cent, that story is nothing short of legendary.